It's Week 18 of the National Football League. And up next is the Texans' versatile running back. He comes in fourth in the NFL in rushing touchdowns this year. It's the Texans and the Jags. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. And this will be a Jaguars first down as the tackle made at about the 38.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. But Charles, as we've covered, they've already clinched their spot in the postseason, so now they just want to avoid adding any additional names to this list before the postseason begins.
Terrific observation, because trying to move up a spot, I don't know if it's worth it if you're trying to play guys who aren't quite right. Get them healthy, get ready for the playoffs, make your move then.
They'll send Kirk in motion right. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And some room to work. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And a nice gain at 21 yards. And now whistles and a flag. And I think we got a jump here. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Here's Lawrence. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Christian Kirk with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jaguars get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So here come the Texans now for their first drive. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw 1 touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
And a nice job there skipping away from the one tackle and ends up getting 5 yards out of that. Second down. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33. This now a 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Smith. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. Inside the 10. Touchdown, Houston. Nico Collins, 67 yards. And the Texans are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. But Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Jaguars offense led by their running back headed out for the second possession. And we give you a look there at the league leaders in receiving touchdowns. You can see he's second best amongst NFL running backs at this point in the season. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
On first down, Franks. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense.
So as they talk it over, we step aside. A shotgun snap and a give to ETN. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense.
So as they talk it over, we step aside. On first down, right back to ETN. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 44 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
This a quick pass to Davis. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. ETN on the toss right.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Here's Lawrence to throw. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Doug Peterson going to roll the dice here. They will go for it on 4th down. And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence.
And it's incomplete. They could not convert, and they turn it over. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
These two teams, you may recall, they didn't play each other till late in the year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in Week 13. And it was the visiting Texans who came away with a victory. So they'll look to take the season series if they can win here in Houston.
Broke a tackle, but not much room there. Just up past the 25, no further.
They'll come up now, 3rd and 3.
A shotgun snap for Smith.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. Another catch for him there, and the numbers starting to stack up a bit. He's closing in already on a 100-yard game. We're still in the first half.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he stopped immediately there.
He was brought down by Foyesade Oluwakin.
Under a minute to go, clock running at a back-and-forth first quarter of play. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Now Smith.
And tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's Devin Lloyd with a pick. And the Jags are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Now Lawrence.
This is caught. It's Kirk. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 7-7, our score after 1. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
In motion right is Davis. Now Lawrence. And one more time, here's Kirk.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Options galore here. Second and a few inches.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
Now Lawrence to throw. Got his man. It's the tight end Strange with it.
That play gets them 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to tackle right here on this play.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
A give to Etienne running right.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved.
Ezra Cleveland, the guard, called for the penalty there.
A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
And he's got it. It's Thomas for a Jacksonville touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab, and the Jaguars have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 14-7. That time a 6-play drive, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Texans offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. We get a look at the league leaders in receiving touchdowns by a running back, and he sets the pace here in the latter stages of the season. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of a tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's the tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
From the 31, here's second down and 8. Now it's Smith. He's able to find Melton. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And now 1 yard to go on third down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On third down, they're going to run for it here. And this will be a Texans first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. Here's Smith. A throw left sideline falls incomplete. The Texans had 15-1 on the year. And Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
Smith now to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. And, boy, before the drive even starts, here's a timeout. Wow.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1 yard gain.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's second and 9. And they'll go again with Etienne.
And he's going to be close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 39.
54 yards rushing for him now to this point.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
Lawrence. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Jags first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. On the counter, Etienne.
And not much running room. Down to the 32.
Brought down in the play by Deron Bland.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence.
That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
From the gun, it's Lawrence.
That's caught on the left side by Kirk.
And he'll be taken down after a gain of about 8, as that will lead us to the 2-minute warning.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7.
Again, it's Lawrence.
And did he get the feet down? Yes, touchdown.
Gabriel Davis.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Jaguars have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions, and they're a PAT from going up 21-7.
Yeah, very impressive the way that they've moved the football. Full command of their playbook, full command of the way they've wanted to attack.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now 21-7. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it ends with a touchdown pass to Gabriel Davis.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. Shedding the tackler that gives him some room. And they're going to be set up beautifully. A heck of a return down inside the 40-yard line.
I know the special teams coach will not permit himself a smile here, but inside, he's glowing. This is what he practices for. This is what he schemes. This is what he watches tape to put himself and his team in a position to score points. An absolute dream return.
Geno now to throw. And that one going to come up short. Low throw. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they throw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he is going to have a Texans first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
From the gun, here's Smith.
That is in.
And that's where you want to use your big tight end. Let him use his size and frame to go up and get the deep ball in the end zone. But that time, they couldn't connect.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all. And I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down short of the first, right around the 15-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the defense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. They'll try and run for it. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. He needed 2. He only got 1. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs.
Lawrence will throw.
A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Here's Lawrence.
And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Lawrence. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Derek Barnes buries him for a loss of 11 from his outside linebacker spot.
From midfield now, Lawrence.
Shakes off the sack. Buying time to his left. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here in the late window. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, where it was the Titans who get the win at home. Will Levis leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in their ball game to the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott leading the way as his guys pick up win number 14 on the year. Lastly, let's head to Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati to see what's happening with the Bengals. And they fall in that one to the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Josh Downs, 2 touchdown catches in the victory. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break. But I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come. These two clubs clubs running through their final halftime adjustments. It's just about time to get back at it. And for the call of the second half, we go back out to Houston, H-Town, and Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Texans going to take over here to start quarter number 3. In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense has thrown at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking to throw. Walton. Man open. That's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll let this go deep for Collins. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Walton. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Hands it off out of the gun. And they'll get him down right around the 16. The tackle by Quincy Williams. Here's a 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Walton. Forced out to his left. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Touchdown, Texans! Nico Collins, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans have cut it back within a score. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Jaguars offense and Trevor Lawrence getting set for this next drive. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change. Because otherwise, that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
On 2nd down, ETN once more. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Lawrence to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. From the shotgun, Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Straight ahead, Etienne. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Well, a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17. Back to throw. Lawrence. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And the Jaguars send out their punter. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense and Nico Collins heading onto the field. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time. Now, Charles, remember they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
They need 18 yards here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Walton. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. And they're going to speed things up here. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Back to throw. Walton. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw again. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. 1st down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. Now 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Walton.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And now another one thrown incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And the kick is good. He needed a little help there from the crossbar, but the carom goes his way. And that'll bring him back within 4. So a favorable bounce that time. The least, and he's able to convert the field goal there from a long distance.
Yeah, the guys behind the end zone didn't need to hike the net up for this one. That thing was a dying quail, but he finds a way to boink it off the crossbar and make it drop through.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, called it the 21.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. That one complete downfield to Thomas.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
They go play action with Lawrence. That one complete downfield to Kirk.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
Throwing again here. It's Lawrence.
To the right side and complete to Thomas. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
In motion right is Davis. Now Lawrence.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Christian Harris. And the Texans are right back in this football game.
A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
They'll start on the ground here on first down.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. Second down and 8.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Back to throw. Walton. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. That's going to bring up 4th down. Only a gain of 2 there. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Will Anderson
coming in for that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7. Gets around him.
And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down.
4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Sanders' kick is good, and that'll make this a 7-point game.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Walton. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Looking to throw. Walton.
He's able to find Melton.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a 1-score game. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back.
2nd down, 8 yards to go.
Back to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. And they were hoping to get down there, get the score, and get this thing into overtime. How deflating.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, heartbreaking. They had an opportunity, had a chance, and probably were feeling pretty good about what was going on. And that was taken away from them by their own mistake.
Yep, the opportunity squashed.
They got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Here comes 3rd and the length of the football. They'll run with ETN.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They're going on 4th down. Lawrence.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And this Texans defense stands tall. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball. And it falls incomplete.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get them the completion.
Here's Smith.
Finding Schultz, and they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Smith.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
And that's the downside of taking these big shots, because they're definitely lower percentage plays. And now you look up, and it's 4th down. So not only do you have to worry about getting big yardage, you also need to just keep the game alive.
He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Jags take over in terrific field position. Down to a knee for the Jags. Victory seemingly in hand. Lawrence to a knee, and that will write a finish to this one.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. Well, this ball game was close throughout. Remember, it was neck and neck at intermission, neck and neck at the end, but a great job to come in here in a tough environment, Charles, and get the victory.
Yeah, tough environment indeed. How about all the people we can hear shouting from their seats right below us, partner? They weren't real happy that their team didn't keep the home field. How about how these visitors came in, calm every step of the way, even with all the pressure, and found a way to get out of here with a win.
So for Jacksonville,
they conclude the regular season with a final record of 11-6.
And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for Houston, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And the playoffs will run through their house as they'll get the week off and get set to host a divisional round game in 2 weeks' time.